Hi guys, in today's video I want to take you through this month's Beauty Pie order. It's another big one. For some reason every month it's a big one, but this month I feel like I had been accumulating things in my basket waiting to buy them right from my last order, to be fair. So this is what we've got. We got a good sort of selection of like supplements and skincare and makeup in here. Oh, we've fallen down. So I'll start with the supplements. These are... Actually, no. Yes, I will start with the supplements. So this is the Supergut Duo. It turns out you actually, sorry, that's my Maxie. It turns out you don't actually save any money, but I've just like gone through to look at my order and work out how much everything costs, so I can let you know. And normally when you buy these things in like a kit, you save money, but as it turns out with these you don't. So they are £16 each or £40 if you're not a member price. Just a brief summary of the Beauty Pie situation. I'm assuming if you watch this video then you already know what's happening with the Beauty Pie deal, but basically it's a subscription. You pay a yearly subscription and you get like vastly reduced prices on sort of top end or top-ish end skincare. They say top end, and yeah, they do like supplements and skincare and makeup and stuff, and basically it's brilliant. I joined must be coming up to a year now because I've just had the renewal email, and so far I'm loving it. Basically I've literally spent an absolute fortune on various different things, but I do find that there's lots of things that have been game-changing, so I think for me it's worth it, so I will be renewing. So anyway, this is the Supergut Duo. One of them is a great skin formula and one of them is a digestion formula. I've had a few ailments lately, and I know that like probiotics and stuff are the way forward for making you feel better in so many levels. And I've also had a lot of skin allergies, so I wondered whether, that's why I got both, because I wondered whether this actually might help fix those sort of things. So I've given them a go. I've only been taking them for a couple of days, so it's hard to tell really if they're actually doing anything. But I do believe in probiotics generally, so I'm hoping that these ones are good ones. So yeah, one of them is a skin formula, and that one you take one a day. So you get 60 in a pot for £16. And you take one a day of that one, and this one, and it says you can take them both together but not to exceed the stated dose, which is confusing because surely they both have the live microbiome in them, so I'm not really sure how that works. But anyway, it says you can take them both at the same time. So this is the Supergut Digestion one, and this you take 2 of a day and you get 60 in a jar. So obviously one is more economical financially than the other. So yeah, we shall see if they do anything, but so far so good. You know, I don't really know what to expect. The tablets aren't disgusting, they taste all right, you know, they're quite chunky. Actually, probiotics are always quite chunky, I find. So yeah, reasonably sized tablet, but is easy enough to swallow basically, and they don't taste disgusting. So that is the Supergut Duo. I also got some eyeshadow primer in this one. I've never used eyeshadow primer before, so I'm quite sort of curious, but a couple of people have mentioned in my comments that maybe I should try an eyeshadow primer, because I have sort of wrinkly and generally unhelpful eyelids. See, you can see, I don't know if you can see there, I've got creasing, and I actually put this eyeshadow primer on this morning. In fact, I've got a full face of Beauty Pie on, I think, today, because I wanted to do a full face of Beauty Pie, so I thought I'd see what, you know, make sure I have got one of everything, basically. So anyway, this is the Flawless Eyeshadow Primer. It's £9.50 or £22 if you're not a member. There is only one shade, like, so I don't know how that works if you've got a darker skin tone. And from what I've learned, I've tried it for a couple of days now, and what I've learned is like a little goes a long way, like you don't need very much of it at all. But like I say, that has creased. So I don't know if that is the primer. It must be the primer because I haven't had that problem before, which makes no sense. It's literally supposed to do the opposite of that. But I am still learning, so I'm not going to pass judgment until I've, you know, like used it a few times and actually worked out what's going on with it, basically. So yeah, like I say, that's the eyeshadow primer. I think there is only one eyeshadow primer, so this was the only one to choose. Next I have got the Ultra Colour Pro Gel Eyeliner in Very Pretty Plum, a soft purple it's called. This was £8 or £22 if you're not a member. I'm a big fan of the Victoria Beckham eyeliners, if I'm honest, and I very much doubt that I will ever sway from them. But I wanted to try these because the Victoria Beckham ones are so expensive, and because I wanted to do a full face of Beauty Pie. So I thought, well, I need an eyeliner because I can't go eyelinerless. So this is the colour, it matches my top. So, and I've got it on today. So it's very, like, I don't know if you can see. It's not, I mean, it's purple, but it's more purpley brown, I think, than as purple as I was sort of expecting it to be, because the website makes it look like this should have a shimmer as well, but it definitely doesn't. I quite like the pencil though, and it doesn't dull down as quick as the Victoria Beckham ones. Like normally once I've used the Victoria Beckham one, because it goes on so smoothly, I think, like when the Victoria ones, like they are so smooth to go on, and that's why they go down so quick, whereas with this it's not unsmooth. I'll do a full face anyway probably next week so you can see me actually applying it, but like I don't, like, it wasn't hard to put on, but it definitely, I had to go over it a few more times than I would have done with a Victoria Beckham one. But there's pros and cons to that, because sometimes you need to go over it a few more times to get more precision, rather than if it's too soft it can just sort of like then go on more than you necessarily want it to, or like smudge a bit, or you know, like just generally blobs are in places they shouldn't be and stuff like that. Whereas with this one, because you have to do a little bit more, and it is still soft on the eye. But anyway, I'll show you in the full face of Beauty Pie. But that is the colour of it. That is very pretty plum, a soft purple. I do like it, and it does stay on well, and I would try other colours of it, definitely. So yeah, that is £8. Next we have Awesome Bronzer. This is, I just bought the refill because I already had the refillable case from a powder that I had tried. So yeah, I bought the refill, and I'm a little bit disappointed because it arrived smashed. And not only did it arrive smashed, in fairness to Beauty Pie customer services, they didn't send me a replacement. They gave me a code for a refund for the same price that I paid for it, and a code for free shipping, which I guess is better because now I get to keep the broken one and I can buy something else for the same value. But like, look how much fell out of it basically. And not only did it smash like on the way, it also, when I then like took it out, like basically I feel like every time I open it up another bit of it has fallen out. And I don't know whether this is just a bad batch. They made me, which I was a little bit annoyed about, send them a picture to prove it. I don't know whether they said that they wasn't proving it, they just needed the batch number to show me whether it was like a bad batch or something was wrong with delivery or whatever, but they still needed a picture of the product to prove it. But anyway, so yeah, that is how much is missing. I have enjoyed the actual bronzer, in fairness. Like, this says that it is a warm toned fair bronze. This is the lightest one they do. That's why I chose this one, because I'm cool toned. Normally I would choose a cool toned colour, but I chose it because it's the fairest one, and it is quite pigmented, even like for the fair one, and it, like, a lot comes off basically. Let me show you, that is the colour of it. Let me show you that next to the Victoria Beckham one that I normally use. So this is the Victoria Beckham Bronzing Brick. I'll show you them side by side actually as well. Whoop. That is the Beauty Pie, and that is the Victoria Beckham Bronzing Brick. So you can see it is more warm toned and a little darker, I would say, than the Victoria Beckham one. The thing I like about the Victoria Beckham one is, like, it literally says on the tin that you can't overdo it, and that's why I like it so much, because you can just keep liberally applying and it doesn't look too overdone, I think. But hang on, let me try and swatch it. This, I'm not sure how, I might do it on my arm actually, that's better, isn't it? So this is the Victoria Beckham one, and now this is the Beauty Pie one. That's the Bronzing Brick in 01, by the way, and for the Victoria Beckham one. And actually, when you look at them side by side, so this is the Beauty Pie one, and this is the Victoria Beckham one. So it's just a bit paler and a little bit cooler in my opinion, but I'm not very good at the cool warm thing. If I'm not told whether it's cool or warm, I don't find it easy to decide whether it's cool or warm. But yeah, like I would say I still prefer the Victoria Beckham, but I have only been using it for a couple of days, and I mean, it is good. It hasn't been, you know, it hasn't left any sort of muddy marks behind or anything like that. So I have, you know, liked it, but I feel like I have to use a much lighter hand with it, or otherwise it will seem too much, basically. So yeah, that is the Awesome Bronze in the shade Sunnyside Warm Toned Fair Bronze. That's £13 for the refill, or £26 if you're not a member. See, like, no, I mean, I was going to say that's not actually that cheap, but it is really £13. Because I think the Victoria Beckham Bronzing Brick, I've got a feeling this was £50, but it is refillable as well, and that is for the actual thing. I don't know how much the refills are actually. I'll have a look and insert it in here. So next we have got, I also, you don't really need to know this, but I also bought another one powder wonder Uberlucent Universal. If you follow my channel, you'll know that I'm obsessed with this, and because it sold out briefly, I have now bought about 5 of them, if not more. I literally, every time I do an order, I order another one. So yeah, that is the one powder wonder Uberlucent. If you haven't tried it, it's brilliant. Go and try it. So yeah, that was just like a stocking up one. I've literally got a whole pile of them in my drawer. Next I've got Uberlucent Volume Boost Velvet Formula Mascara in shade Brownie, which is the perfect brown. Again, I've got this on today. I do like these. I was a little bit disappointed with both the Beauty Pie mascaras that I tried, if I'm honest, but I feel like everyone else loves them so much that I have to keep giving them a chance. The tubing one, like, it's fine, but I just don't think it's as good. Like, I'm still drawn to my day-to-day one, which is the Benefit Bad Girl Bang one. So the fact that I'm still drawn to that makes me think it's not that good. This one is good. Like, it's got a sort of trusty, sort of fluffy wand to it, and it goes on well, and it does give you decent, like, length and, you know, volume and stuff. And I've seen other people use it and it looks amazing. So I feel like it must be something. I mean, look, that does give pretty decent, actually, volume and stuff. And that's going over the top of one that was already there. Well, I mean, the same one, but like earlier this morning. So yeah, it is good, but it might, in fairness, be the wand that's bothering me, because I prefer a silicone wand myself. I don't know why, it just feels cleaner. But anyway, so yeah, it's all right. This is £10 and it would be £28 if you're not a member. What else have we got? Also, it's right at the bottom of the pile, I bought a Dr. Glyconic Soft Feet 7-Day Peel Mask. Whoop. That is what this one looks like. You can barely even see anything on it. I haven't used this yet because it's only one pair of socks, and I'm a little bit frightened. I've sort of, like, from what I can gather, you wear them like for 20 minutes or whatever, and then like over the next 7 days the skin of your feet all just peels off, which I'm a little bit frightened about, but also kind of want to do. So I'm sort of waiting for a good time to do that, where it doesn't really matter that my feet are gonna look gross for 7 days. I don't know that that's the case, but I've read reviews on other ones that are similar to this, where they've sort of just been like, be prepared that your skin will literally just peel off, which I guess is the whole point. But anyway, so that is £6, or would be £12 if you weren't a member. Then I have bought some more of the Luminous Mineral Skin Tint Broad Spectrum SPF 40 sunscreen. So basically tinted SPF. This is in the shade Light, which is a yellow undertone. I had previously bought the shade Fair, which is a neutral undertone. I will try and show you now without getting it mixed up with the bronzer. This is the shade Light with a yellow undertone. See, actually, when you look at it side by side, so that's the, what's it called, eyeshadow primer, which is obviously way lighter. So this is light with a yellow undertone. The shades are weird, like the whole, it says cool toned with a yellow undertone. No, cool toned with a yellow undertone, or warm toned with a red. It like just doesn't make sense. But then they've kind of taken it away, and these ones just say with a yellow undertone, and like that goes against my nature to buy something that says with a yellow undertone. But it does actually, like, this is what I've got on today. I mean, obviously, when I look at the camera, I look like I've massively over bronzed. But like, I do quite like the colour of this one. It feels a bit, I think actually it'll be a good sort of summer one, and the other one will be a good winter one. Let me show you side by side. So that, I mean, it's actually quite considerably darker. That top one is the light yellow undertone, and this is the fair neutral undertone. So there's actually quite a lot of difference in it. And at the same time, I also bought a different concealer, but I do find that they are quite a good colour, which makes no sense when you look at it like that. But this is like one shade up, basically. And when I looked at the woman, like they have sort of pictures of people wearing it, like to show the shade, and she looked the most like my shade, basically, which is all I could really go with. So yeah, I went with that one, and like I'm quite pleased, really. I think that that is a good shade, yeah, for me. This is £16. Is it £16.50 or £40 if you're not a member? I like the fact that it's a 40 SPF. It takes some getting used to. If you haven't tried this already, then it takes some getting used to work out what works for you. The first time I used it, I was not impressed because it was really thick and felt sort of greasy almost to put on, but now I've kind of got used to it and worked out that less is more. And originally I thought putting it on with your fingers is better, but now I have mastered the art of putting it on with a brush. Not mastered the art, but like I found a way that works for me. Like if you just use the right amount and don't get too carried away with how much you add, then I can add it with a brush and it works basically. So yeah, I like it, but like be warned if you try it that there might be a bit of a transition process while you work out how it works for you. So yes, that is £16.50 or £40 if you are not a member. Also, I bought the Everyday Great Skin Hyaluronic Blur Concealer in 150 Shell, which is also a yellow undertone. And I think, again, I just went with the one I thought, like, well, if the other yellow undertone works, then this yellow undertone will probably work. And I think I was right. Because, again, I think the model looked the most like me. And I had the same one in Superlight, and it is very light. Right, so this is shade Shell, which actually sort of matches. This is the concealer in shade Shell. So it's sort of somewhere in between the two. That is the light one. No, the fair. Fair is the lightest, and then it's light. So that's fair in the SPF, and that's light. And then this, I'm confusing myself. And then this is Shell, the concealer of. Let's see if I can find the other concealer and show you side by side. I'm not going to be able to find it now. There it is. This is the Superlight, which is very light. So that's the Superlight, and that is the Shell. Weirdly, there doesn't seem to be anything in between. But I do find that that's quite a good colour. So yeah, so far I'm enjoying the shade Shell and the light in the SPF. So I think they'll be my winter colours basically, and then I'll have a summer colour, which will be the paler one. So that is £12.50 or £25 if you're not a member. I really like those concealers. Like, I feel they're my new go-to. Like, they are just the right amount of, like, when you first put them on, they seem really thick and like they're not going to blend in, but they blend in really easily. So yeah, they are my new favourite concealers, definitely. And then next and last of all is the Wonder Gloss Collagen Lip Oil in Naked Plum, Cool Toned Plum. This I actually got as a free gift, which was one of the reasons why I waited to do this order. But also I was going to order some of these anyway because I've heard such good things about them. And the shade that I was going to get, which I think was Spicy Pink, was sold out by the time I actually did the order. But I'm actually really pleased with this colour. Like, it's it's literally almost the colour of my lips naturally. So it kind of just gives them a bit of zhuzh. And it feels really lovely and soft and is nice and shiny. Like, you can't really see. It's weird because when you first put it on, I don't think it looks super shiny. You know, like some glosses are like, whoa, that's like really shiny. But this one, it doesn't do that when you first put it on. But I've definitely caught myself in the mirror and thought, like later, like hours later, and thought, oh, my lips still look nice and shiny. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this. If you're considering it, then do it, because this is, well, I wouldn't necessarily have picked this colour because I thought it would be a bit dark, but I don't think it is. And also it feels really nice, you know, like some nourishing lip oils, like I've got the Dior one and stuff, and even though they feel nice, I don't feel like they're super nourishing, whereas this one does actually feel super nourishing. So yeah, I'm keen to get more of these. I might just buy every shade in fact. So they would have been this would have been £12 or £28 if you're not a member, but I got it free because they were doing like a free gift thing over the weekend. So that is it, I believe. £120 worth of products. So yeah, that is this month's order. If you have any questions about any of the products, then drop them in the comments. And if you've enjoyed this video in any way, then please like and subscribe. And that's it. Thanks for listening. Good night.